we have Mr. Jeremy Bravo with us. He's a real estate expert at Briggs, Freeman, Sothebys. He's a CASA board member and travel and adventure seeker.
Yeah.
Welcome, Jeremy.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Glad to have you. We have so many questions.
Okay, good. Well, let's get started.
All right. Well, how long have you been in real estate?
Been in real estate for 9 years now, and it's been amazing. The way I started is I bought a duplex as my first home ever, and I moved into one side, rented the other side out, started getting some income, and I was like, whoa, I love this. So,
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I have thought about doing.
oh man, we'll talk about that. But yes, it's a wise thing to do. in my
Yeah.
opinion.
So do you do commercial and residential, or do you do a combination of the two?
Good question. Residential and land, not commercial yet, but like anything, you start with something. I started with a little tiny piece of land. Now I've done up to 500 acres. So, commercial is kind of that next step to do maybe a little lease and then move up into buildings, right? So
nice.
that's a goal of
I
mine.
noticed that there's so many types of different kinds of real estate agents.
Yeah.
You've got your RV park agents, you've got your land, you've got commercial, you've got real estate, residential, you've got business. So what do you like to do the most of?
Oh man, well, I've become an expert at residential. That stuff is so fun, but you get really good at something, and then you're like, all right, what's the next challenge? So land has been that next challenge for me. I love the complexity, and then raw land. It's like, what are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna build a house? Are you gonna put a pool? Are you gonna build a very unique home? Or are you gonna put in a basement? Even though those aren't common in Texas, some people buy land that is shaped to build into the ground. So.
Yeah.
It's just unique to see these land deals and what people do with them.
Well, there's so many beautiful areas. You've got Azle,
Yeah.
that's really developing. We have some friends that live in like the Hill area. It's Fort Worth City that
Yeah.
they live in, but it's so close to Azle that I'm like, this is beautiful.
Yeah. And you go to places like that and you're like, man, I don't see the sunset in Fort Worth, right? Like
No.
we spend a lot of time in the downtown area, and it's like
Right.
you just don't see those rolling hills, those sunsets. And it's nice to see that occasionally.
Oh, it's
It really
beautiful
is.
because it faces the west.
Right.
And it's a two-story and it hangs over and you can see the sunset.
Oh, I bet
So
that's
it's
beautiful.
just, it's gorgeous.
I bet that's fantastic. Yeah.
So what's your favorite area to like check out and sell and show people?
Oh man, well recently, as far as neighborhoods, I really love anything in that West Fort Worth pocket. I'm partial to Crestwood. We live in Crestwood, and being on the river, we have the sunsets. We saw the air show not too long ago with the Blue
Yes.
Angels, so that's fun, living there and doing real estate in that area. And then further west, now that I've gotten more into land, the Glen Rose area, like that
Oh, that's
area.
gorgeous.
Oh my gosh! So you're talking about rolling hills, sunsets, massive parks. You got the Dinosaur Valley in that
So
area.
you don't have to go to Fredericksburg to
You do not.
rolling hills.
You do not.
You can do it in our backyard.
It looks like South Texas. Yeah. Every time I go tour a property, I'm like, oh my gosh, the drive over there. I'm like, I feel like I'm in South Texas. So you're 100% right.
Yeah.
It feels that way.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what do you think you'll do next in real estate?
Great question. I love land, and the more I learn about it, the more I can see myself developing land one day. So really,
Okay.
the next goal, not immediate, but you have to set these big long-term goals that kind of scare you.
Right.
And I'd love to start developing one day. So maybe buy something small and maybe put in some roads at first, sell that, and then eventually possibly develop further, right? Maybe into a small neighborhood.
So it's so interesting that you say that because I have a client of mine that she bought some land and she was telling me that she had to pay about $10,000 to tap into the water.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you
What?
kidding me?
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
because
and
there's no
then-
water out there.
Well, and then she didn't have any water. I mean, she tapped into this,
Yeah.
tried to tap into a
The city water,
reservoir
yeah.
and didn't have water.
Oh my
and so
gosh.
then she had to tap into her neighbors.
Oh my
I guess
gosh.
city, I mean, that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
water. It was a little more complex than I had ever known.
Oh,
But
gosh.
there were so many steps when she had bought the land. She had to clear out the land, and then she had to tap into the water, get electricity.
Agreed.
And I think she even told me that she didn't even have a mailbox. So she has to go into town and get her mail at the post office.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's really roughing it.
Yeah.
Comparing to just buying a house in a residential area.
Right. You don't think about those things like
No.
when you go buy a house, you're like, oh, where am I going to get my mail, right? It's either a big box down the street
Yes.
or right in front of your home. But yeah, something like that. Where do I get water? Where do I get electricity?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
people-
And it's expensive.
It's expensive, and everybody's in love with land and being away from neighbors and all that. But that, man, once you get into the nitty gritty of those little things,
Yes.
it can add up quick.
Yes.
Right.
Anything that involves moving dirt, digging, oh my gosh, it's so
Well,
expensive.
and you think about all the people that you buy the land and then you have to clear the land, then you have to add the roads. You deal with so many contractors.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fascinating, all the different kinds of people that you employ to help you develop this land.
Yeah.
So in your business, I noticed that, the newest thing is like droids, to go around the house and do the marketing, and give you a clear picture of what you're going to purchase.
Yeah.
Drones, drones.
Those drones.
Yeah.
And so, the marketing would be such a big aspect of it. Do you do that yourself, or do you hire other people to do that?
That's a good question. I want to do that myself because it's so cool and I love learning things, but I hire a great company called Norman & Young, and they do an amazing job of videos, photos, 3D tour, Matterport, which is where they put a camera in the middle of the room and it does 360 photos and turns
I've
it
seen
into
those
it
before.
turns it into a whole house design. So yeah, you have to hire experts, and to your point, that's the beauty of something like real estate. Like you need to employ so many different people, contractors, and that's how we get this economy going. That's why real estate is so powerful and expensive, because title companies are involved, contractors, photography companies. It's so encompassed into help so many pieces of the economy that's why real estate is booming, and it really helps our economy thrive in North Texas.
Right, because even though it's so expensive to buy a house nowadays, it's still a great investment.
Agreed.
But you're paying all these other people
Yeah.
to get this going.
Yeah, and it's all necessary. It's all necessary, and at the end of the day, the bottom line, people are still making money on these transactions, even with all these different people that are taking a small piece of the pie.
Yeah. Well, I just didn't realize the whole puzzle.
Yeah.
I mean, when you deal with a real estate agent like yourself, you're showing me the house, but I don't see the back part of everything that you've done to make my experience complete.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And most people don't. And sometimes we're at fault for making it look too easy. And realtors are in the media right now are getting attacked quite a bit, right? For commission stuff like that. And unfortunately, I think we've done a good job, but also a bad job of making it look so easy, because our goal is people are so stressed when they're buying a house, right? Like there's so much emotion in moving, purchasing a home. So our job is like to limit the stress, make it seem like an easy thing to do so that they want to do it. But that has now become our backlash, where people are like, oh, it's so easy. Like, why do I have to pay all this
Why am I
commission?
paying this
It's like, oh man, I
3%?
should have told them how hard it was, but I'm
Right.
trying to not add to their stress.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's a
Well, I know
double-edged
it's
sword.
controversial because now they don't want to pay the 3%.
Right.
When you buy a new, like a new build,
Yeah.
now they're waiving that 3% and they're kicking out the real estate agent.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of controversial.
It is. It's controversial. It's challenging, and right now our system in the real estate world is changing day to day, because this just got passed. It doesn't take effect until early July, and every broker, every agent is still trying to figure out, all right, how's this going to work when they remove the buyer's agent commission from the MLS? Because that's what they're doing. They're not going to show the commission anymore. So now I have to reach out to every listing agent and say, hey, is there a commission? If there is, what is it paying? If not, now I got to sit down with the buyer and say,
So-
hey, are you willing to pay this commission?
So
to
it
me?
won't be locked in at 3%. Could it be higher, or could it be lower, or no commission at all?
Correct, all three.
All three, okay.
It's likely that my guess is that it will go lower rather than just not existing at all, and
Right.
probably not going higher. So that's just the future of it. You still get paid, compensated well as a listing agent. It may just be more challenging for buyer's agents.
Okay.
So your goal in real estate, it's list to last. If you want to last, you got to have listings.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess it's effective in July of this year?
Yes, correct. Early
Wow.
July. Yeah, that's when it kicks
So
in,
it won't-
and commission will be removed from the MLS for the buyer's agent.
Okay, so you'll know ahead of time.
Yeah. A lot of people.
So if I'm selling a house and then I want to buy a house and I want to use you as my agent,
Yeah.
then, I mean, in the past, it's been, 3% to sell
Right.
my house, and then 3%
To the buyer's agent.
To the buyers.
Correct. Typically, now that percentage has always been negotiable, but it's appeared as if it wasn't. So now the conversation used to be, your typical agent will go to your house, say, hey, I'd love to sell your home. You'd say, hey, what's your fee? 6%. Now the conversation has shifted to, hey, what's your fee? 3%, and I recommend you paying up to 3% to the buyer's agent. You can pay as little as nothing or up to 3%, but do you want to sell your home fast for the highest price, or slower for the lowest price, right? So
I
because that is
see.
going to happen, right?
Right.
Because if I have to make all these phone calls to the listing agent now, and none of them are paying a commission, which homes are agents more likely to sell? The ones paying some kind of
Right,
commission,
yes.
right? It's like that's what's going to happen, and I think the market trends are going to start showing that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would think I'd want to pay that 3% because then I'm guaranteed that you have hired all these people to show my house
Right.
and to get,
Yeah.
to get it out.
Good marketing, good video. I
marketing.
mean, you
It'll
have to
work
get it out.
itself
You have
out
to get
for sure.
eyeballs on a home, and then you have to get people in, and you do that through marketing and through all these
Yeah.
systems. That
But
we
if
have.
I'm trying to nickel and dime you and I'm like, hey, I only want to pay 1% of that house,
That's right. Yeah.
then you can say, yeah, I don't want to work with you, Christine.
Yeah.
Or,
Don't want to work with you, or I'm not going to spend all this money that I would typically spend, right?
Right.
Like I pay for a stage, or I pay for
Yeah.
photos, video, all that stuff. I mean, I'm going to start cutting corners. I don't want to do
Right.
that, but I'm
Yes.
forced to do that because I'm not getting compensated. for it.
so I guess depending on the price of the house, you're putting X amount of dollars of your own personal money into that investment.
Oh, correct. Up front, before you even pay
Upfront.
me,
Yeah.
I spent easily $2,000 up front before I see a dime of that. So yeah, that's.
And I don't think people realize what,
I think people don't
what
agree.
real estate agents do.
Yeah, because the stager is not waiting until the house sells.
Right.
The photographer
Right.
and videographer, they're not waiting until the house sells.
Yeah.
I'm not running that ad, and the magazine company is waiting until the house sells. I'm paying all this
Right.
up front. Agreed.
Well, I mean, you think about it. I mean, you see these $1 million plus homes, and they got these beautiful ads
Yeah.
on the front and the inside of the house. There's so much that goes into it.
Oh yeah, so much that goes into it, and yeah, they're not on that magazine for free, right?
No, it's expensive.
It is.
For the ads like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you grow up in Fort Worth?
I did not. I've been here for, going on 11 years now. I'm from South Texas, from Laredo, Texas.
Okay,
That's where I grew
Laredo.
up, yeah.
Okay,
But I
well,
was born in
what-
Mexico City, so
Okay.
I lived
Oh
up
my
there. I was
gosh,
about.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I was born in Mexico City. Yeah,
I've never been to Mexico City, but I've heard really good things about it, and I've always
I
wanted
heard
to
it's
go.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard it's beautiful. I haven't been there since I was like
Oh,
4 years
you should
old,
go.
so I need to
People
go
go all
back.
the
I need to.
time.
And
That
if
should
you
be-
guys plan to go, let me know.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Y'all would
that'd
be
a
fun to
great
travel
party.
with. That's right.
Yes.
We'd get into all kinds of stuff.
That's right.
But I don't speak Spanish. Do you speak
Oh
Spanish?
yeah, I speak Spanish.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, well,
yeah.
there you go.
I'm fluent,
Because I
yeah.
keep telling people the only way I would go to Mexico City is if I had somebody
You
that
were-
was
yeah.
fluent in
Oh, well, there you
Spanish.
go. Now we have to go together.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
We should make a trip out of it. I
I
think we
That's
should
right.
totally
We'll
do
make
it.
it happen.
Well, I want to see the Calo Frida museum out there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was a
Oh.
museum out there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, there's lots to do in Mexico City. I hear about it all the time.
Yeah.
How gorgeous it is, and like that you need to go.
Oh
so,
yeah, we need to.
So we need to check on that.
That's right.
So tell us about CASA.
Yeah.
Oh, CASA. Oh my gosh, CASA is so close to my heart. So CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocates. These are advocates for abused children, and it's sad, but Tarrant County is #2 ranked for most abused situations.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So you're talking about sexual abuse, all kinds of different abuses. Even like my first case, I started as a volunteer before I became a board member. And my first case was the child was out in the street because his parents were passed out on drugs, looking for food, right? So that's the kind of abuse that he went through.
And so is this #2 in Texas or #2 in the United States?
In Texas,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
right behind. #3 actually, behind Harris and Dallas County.
Okay.
But Tarrant County, I mean, and Dallas are
Yeah.
so tied together that that's pretty bad.
And
so
it's grown
we're probably
so
#1
much,
over
yeah.
Harris County
Yeah.
together.
Fort Worth City is such a big city.
It is almost 1 million people, right?
So educate me on CASA. So
Okay.
you become a volunteer,
Yeah.
and then you do become a board member. But how do you get involved in CASA? Because I heard there's a process.
There is. You have to be trained and licensed, right? Like, I mean, these kids are already abused. So this organization, as fantastic as it is, sometimes these organizations do attract other people that want to have access to children. So it's a very vigorous background check, training program. I mean, you have to go through a lot to become a
Does it
advocate
take
for
several
these children.
months to do?
It takes several weeks. So you're looking at pretty close to almost 2 months. Yeah, so that's how long it takes to go through training. And then if you're working, it takes longer, but we have a lot of retired people.
So you become a mentor to this particular child that you get assigned to,
Yes.
and then you go to court,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You go to court.
The best part is going and spending time with the children at the foster home, building a relationship with them. You just want to make sure that they're safe. And then you're the voice for the child. So you go to court
Oh, wow.
to be the voice for the child. These children can't go to court and speak on their own behalf. So you're just collecting data, information. Are they okay? And then you go just speak on their behalf.
So you're kind of like a big brother.
Yes.
Going
yes. That's a
in
great way to
and-
compare it. Yeah.
And you're going into court with
Yeah.
this child that you're assigned to, and then do you maintain this relationship?
You maintain it through the course of the case. Once the case ends, the relationship is over, and then you would take on a new case. But yes,
Okay.
you're a figure to them throughout that, right? Because they have so many people around them. They got CPS caseworkers, attorneys. People are fighting for them, but they're not necessarily spending time with them. So the CASA is the person that's spending time with them. And in addition to the foster family, you're spending that time with them, just getting to know them, hanging out with them, taking them to the movies. Stuff
So
like
you
that.
get to see them in the foster home. Do you also get to see them when they go back to their parents, if they do?
No, you do not. Well, if they go back to their parents, that's usually the end of the case where the parents get
Okay.
the children back. So yeah, but you
Okay.
do supervise them when they have supervised visitation with their parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you get to see that relationship
Yeah,
too.
you get to see if the parents are trying to get their kids back or not. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they give them so many. I think the state gives them so many chances
They do.
with parenting classes and different ways.
Correct. Parenting classes, drug tests. I mean, if they're failing drug tests or passing them, I mean, that's an indication of showing if they really want their children back. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's an awesome thing that you do.
Oh, thank
and then you
you.
take it a step further, and now you're on the board.
Yeah, I'm a board member now. I've been a board member for going on 5 years now. So now serving in a different capacity. So I do miss working with the children one-on-one, but you can't be on the board and be a
Right.
volunteer. So now I'm more of a getting the word out and helping to fundraise for events.
Yeah, I was going to say, so it's all about fundraising.
Yeah.
And CASA's really big with their fundraisers.
Yeah, they're big. Our biggest thing is a clay shoot, and
Okay.
I've gotten really into clay shooting the last several months. I go like every couple weeks.
They're
now.
everywhere now.
Oh man, yeah, and clay shoots are just so fun.
Oh my gosh,
If-
I
if-
had no idea.
If y'all have never been, I want to take y'all out.
Yes.
Okay, I will take y'all out. It's so much
went,
fun.
I went last Friday. Alliance for Children that
Okay.
I'm involved with. They had a clay shooting, and there
Oh,
was about
awesome.
218 people that
Yeah.
attended that event.
And you were at the event?
I was volunteering, so
Okay.
I was selling mulligans for 5 for $20.
Okay, there you go.
And it had rained a little bit, but after the rain had cleared, then everybody went out and we were at Alpine.
Yeah.
I had never been to Alpine before. I had heard so much about it. But literally, we got into the golf carts and we went to each station.
Yeah. It's like golf.
It
really
was the
is.
coolest thing.
It's so
And
fun.
then everybody's, shooting their clay pigeons.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, the
Okay.
pigeons. Yeah. Have you been to range?
I have been to a shooting. I went to what's
Okay.
the one?
Defender Outdoors.
Defender Outdoors.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, and did you shoot?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, you need to shoot. So
Yeah.
you guys will be my guests.
Yes,
I'm
I
a
would
member at Defender
love-
Outdoors. And I'd love to take y'all out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to tell us the
I will.
upcoming event that
We'll make
that
it
will
happen.
happen for CASA
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I would
Yeah, we'll
love
go.
to attend.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've got the whole, shooting gear.
All right, we're gonna go shooting soon.
Yes. Soon.
It'll be fun. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we know you like to travel.
Yeah.
What is your next travel adventure?
So we're actually going to on a cruise. I've never been on a cruise, so we're taking a cruise to Alaska. So never been to
Fun.
Alaska.
Oh my gosh,
so
you
yeah.
get to see big mooses.
Yeah.
And whales maybe.
Oh, I hope so.
Niece?
I'm excited. Have y'all been to Alaska?
I've been
have
to
not.
Alaska.
Okay. So
That is
that'll
on
be
my
fun.
bucket list.
Yeah,
I
I've
would
been-
love to go on a cruise.
It's gorgeous.
We
Now,
are
I
too.
didn't go on a
Alaska.
cruise when I
Okay,
went.
okay.
But it's gorgeous. I went on a mission trip. So we flew into Anchorage and then we drove into like 2 or 3 hours in
Wow.
to the middle. And it's just dirt roads and
Wow.
that kind of thing.
Angela, you're the only
Gorgeous.
person I've ever met that has been to Alaska not on a cruise.
I
Like,
know.
Usually everybody's like,
I
for a
was like
cruise.
in
Goes on a
there.
cruise
Yeah.
I was
to
like
Alaska.
in there.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I'm about to go on a cruise.
Okay, where are you going?
I'm going with a bunch of people from Fort Worth, actually. There's like probably 15 people from Fort
Oh,
Worth
wow.
going. On May 19th, we're going to Costa Maya, Cozumel, and Roatan.
Oh, that'll be a party. That
yeah.
sounds like a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
7 days. I'm excited.
My wife says that the most beautiful beach she's ever seen in her life, and she's seen a lot of beaches, are in Roatan.
Yeah, that's what I've
And I've
heard.
never been there,
Yes, I'm
so-
so
I
excited
haven't
about
been
that.
there either.
But I was
very
telling
cool.
her she should go.
Oh, okay.
No.
Apparently they have the
know.
most beautiful beaches.
I'm supposed to go to Wyoming in May this summer, so
Oh, there you go.
maybe next year.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe next
What's happening
year
in
for sure.
Wyoming?
Glenn and I are going to be going to, Wyoming to go see some clients of his
Oh, cool.
in Yellowstone and
Oh, that'll be awesome.
yeah, Salt Lake City.
I
So
love the nature out there. It's so beautiful.
I went through Yellowstone when
I've
I went
never
to
been.
Wyoming.
Oh,
and
that's
so I
my
have no
gosh.
idea what to expect.
Yeah.
It's things that you can never even imagine. You're like, what is that? That's real.
Yeah,
You
that's-
know, like
yeah.
the things that you just see on cartoons and stuff.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like the spout. You know, the Old
spout
Faithful.
And,
Right.
and the moose.
Old Faithful and like the big the little, what are they called, the hot things that go bloop 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 bloop, and
Oh,
they look like it looks like
geysers
it,
or
looks-
Yeah,
yes,
that's what it is.
it looks like cement.
yeah.
And it's just bloop, bloop, and hot, and then
Yeah.
you'll see buffalo walking all through that,
Oh,
like
that's
it's
so
no big
cool.
deal.
Like a
and-
cartoon. I
I
like
just heard
that.
there's so much land out there, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just, it seems a little more primitive than Fort Worth.
Yeah,
So
it will
yeah.
feel that
And
way.
it's
Fun.
gorgeous.
That's right.
It's
Yeah, that's what I
gorgeous.
heard.
Oh, you're gonna have a
It's
great
a little
trip.
bit cooler out there as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So,
That's
but I don't
awesome.
know really what to expect. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Good. Well, I don't know what to expect from Alaska either.
Well,
so.
don't try to pet the buffalo, even though they're so cute.
That's right.
They're
are.
so cute, and they're wagging their tails the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
time.
yeah.
But
I want to have a little stuffed animal that I can bring home with me.
That's right. Yeah, they weigh as much as a bus. Don't try to pet them.
They do wave their tails, and they look like they would be nice, but no.
They look cute. But
No,
Yeah,
you can't
I'm not
do that.
going there. I'm not taking home. Yeah, I don't think.
I'm like, hey, little buffalo.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
right. One cool thing we are going to do is, I'm really looking forward to this, is we're going to take a helicopter to a hike, and then after the hike, we're going to do the dog sledding in the
Oh,
snow. So that's like, when you think of
great.
Alaska, you're like,
Yes.
oh, hiking a glacier and dog sledding. So
Oh no, that's gonna
those
be
are
awesome.
two things we're going to do, although I've the small fear of helicopters, but I think it'll be all right.
I've
That's
never
gonna
been
be
on a
great.
helicopter.
It just sounds so strange to think that you're going to be in snow this time of the year.
Isn't that nuts? In July?
Yeah, in July.
That is
So okay, so I went in July, and it's beautiful. It's like 50 at night and
Okay.
like 75 during the
crazy.
day.
Okay, so that doesn't sound like snow.
No, but you'll probably go up high to the mountains
Yeah.
and to do that.
Right,
I
yeah.
imagine
That's what it
that's
sounds
gonna be
like.
all. That's
Yeah,
gonna be awesome.
That's gonna be great, except
Yeah,
for
and it's just
the
gorgeous.
ride when you're that high.
The flowers, even the ground
Yeah.
is like that has that tundra. It's
Yeah.
so different. The trees. I mean, like when you go to another place like that, it's like going to another country
Oh,
because everything is just so different.
Yeah,
The
that's
grass,
It's like
so
nothing back
the
home, like you
trees,
said. Like,
the flowers,
Yeah.
the
I
even
can't even imagine.
everything's
Yeah.
But
different.
I've never been. I've seen pictures and
Gorgeous.
stuff on TV, but I've
Yeah,
never been
yeah.
there in person.
That's right.
I'm so excited for
there you
you.
go. Yeah, it'll be fun. And
How
wow,
many
it'll
days
be
is the
great.
cruise?
This is a 7-day cruise.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
7 or 8 days.
Where do you leave out of?
Seattle.
Okay,
Yeah.
and what's the cruise line?
Oh, it's a Royal Caribbean.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I'm doing. Royal
Yeah.
Caribbean too.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
How fun.
I've never been on a cruise. I've always been kind of nervous about being on a
Oh.
cruise. So
So we went on our cruise a couple of years ago
Our-
for the first
For
time.
the
Okay.
first time.
We were six people total,
Yeah.
and everybody was, they had already been on cruises, but
Yeah.
Angela and I.
We
but
were the
we had a
newbies.
good time.
It was
Okay.
great.
Good.
We left. It was the Greek islands on Royal Caribbean, and you should totally do that if you
Okay.
have not done that.
Yeah.
Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that's amazing.
We
was
flew to
beautiful.
Rome and started there,
Yeah.
and we stayed there a day before and saw all of Rome, everything we could see in 24 hours.
Wow.
Got on the ship the next morning, and then we ended in Athens and stayed another night there in Athens and saw everything you could see in
Yeah.
Athens before we flew back home.
Yeah, I went to Turkey and we were in Ephesus,
Yeah.
and we went to Mykonos.
Mykonos.
Oh, that's awesome.
Santorini.
Oh yeah,
Santorini.
you're bringing back all these memories of
I
last year when we
know.
were there.
It was just
Doesn't Athens
absolutely
feel
beautiful.
like New York City?
Yeah,
like at
it's
night.
it's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
it's so cool.
I mean, everywhere we
it's so
went
alive.
was great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
It
I
was
love that.
fun. We were gone, 2.5 weeks or
Oh,
something
wow.
like that.
That's
like
we were
long.
gone forever.
12 days. 12
Yeah,
days.
ours was about 12 days.
felt like
also.
forever.
The 12 days for us felt like forever
It feels
too.
like forever,
You're like,
yeah.
all right, it's time to get back.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, that's cool. Well, okay, so we're going to talk about products now.
Okay.
What did you bring?
Okay, so I brought this Harry's shave gel.
Oh my gosh, I've heard so much about Harry's.
I gotta say, as a guy, like you guys have a lot that you do, right, to get ready and look beautiful. Guys, man, it's easy for us, right? Like we just have to comb our hair, brush our teeth. But
Right.
the shave for guys that shave, I think is important. So not the shave itself, but how you feel when you're shaving. So this shave gel, it's a shave gel with aloe, but it just gets so foamy and it creates this great barrier. So when the blade is like slicing across, it just feels good. And then you splash that cool water. So I say shaving is a great experience for guys just getting ready. We don't have to. I shave like every couple days, but
So do you buy it online or do you buy it at a store?
they sell it at Target now, but Harry's used to be like online only. So I got pulled into their marketing on
Yeah.
probably Facebook and started
Right.
buying their razors, and then this, and now they carry it at Target. So it's like it doesn't feel as like unique anymore because it's at Target, but it's a great product.
But it's easy for you.
Yeah.
What did you bring?
Oh gosh. Okay, so I brought a cleanser and a toner. I used to use Yoncon, and it was a French line, but this one's a little bit different. It's called Bio Troga,
Okay.
and I really like it. It's a cleanser and a toner. There's pumps on there, so that's my newest product that I've been using.
Oh, I can't even say that.
Yeah.
Guy,
Biodroga.
Biodroga.
This is a milky cleanser.
Schweizer.
That sounds like
Yeah.
Biodroga.
And it says Black Forest Complexed Licorice Extract.
Oh, look at that.
I know, but it smells really good. And I've been using this toner.
It's the licorice, yeah.
Yeah, this is also the same thing, alcohol free. But anyways,
Feels
my
good?
new products
Okay.
that I've
Awesome.
been using.
I like it.
Okay, well, I have not used this yet, but I got it the other day, the Moroccan Oil Body Scrub.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I love anything that's Moroccan oil because
Yeah.
it smells so lovely.
Okay.
Um,
Never heard of Moroccan oil.
oh my gosh. Let's see. Let's open it. Smell it. Or maybe not. I don't think this
Is it a body gel? Is that what you
It's
said?
a scrub.
Oh, it's a
But I think,
scrub.
yeah.
So it has like the.
Oh my gosh,
little-
smell it.
The little grains.
Oh my
beads in
gosh.
there.
And I have a new nose, so like it smells good.
Yes. So, well, you know how that smells, but like everything from Moroccan oil smells lovely.
Wow, that does smell good.
And so I bought it to use. I have not used it yet, but I know I'm going to love it.
Yeah. I went to a hair class about a week ago.
Yeah.
And it was all Moroccan oil hair products. And
Oh, wow.
Their educators were up on stage. And
We were just excited about the products we were going to get.
I know.
Yeah.
We got a $300 bag, so.
Oh, there you go.
With
Full
products
of
in it.
hair products.
I was like, oh, I
That's a
wish
good
they
day.
would have put the body products in here too.
yeah.
I
What's up
know.
with that?
And I really wanted a flat brush or a flat paddle brush.
You know what?
Yeah,
I gave feedback on that, and I told
I did too. I
my
complained.
person, I said, we did not get a paddle brush, we didn't get foils, and no body stuff either.
You were just a little greedy on our hair products.
Great. And that's stuff you typically get at these
We get it
events?
for free.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so you get a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff.
So
yeah.
you pay a couple $100 to go to a hair show or
Yeah,
a hair
yeah.
class, and you spend the whole day with them,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they give you a bag full of free products.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that was only $100 we paid.
I believe
So it wasn't
too.
bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting like $200 back in product.
Okay. That's not bad.
So,
And it was a bonus.
and it was
Yeah,
all
yeah.
hair stuff, and then we got there and they had this whole body display, and I was like, ooh, body stuff.
Yeah.
Why is that not in our bag?
There you go.
I know, right?
And-
Why
and
did we get this and this and
That's
this?
right.
I mean, come on now.
That's right. Come on.
I need a check-off
Don't get
list.
cheap on me. So did you learn any new tips or techniques, or was it just
No.
products? It was just learning about their products.
We know everything.
Oh, got it. I know
I'm
you know
just kidding.
everything.
Well, they always say for a hairdresser or a hairstylist, if you go to a hair show or a hair class and you
Yeah.
learn one new thing
Yeah.
out of that, it's worth the whole
yeah.
class.
Right.
Right.
Agreed.
And you know, I would think that would be like in your business
oh
as
yeah.
well.
You hear the same thing about these real estate conferences.
Yeah, I mean,
Take away
you hear
one
the
thing.
same things over and over and over.
Yeah.
I'm assuming your rules are the same every year.
Yeah.
Your certifications that you
Right.
have to get,
Yeah.
that you pay.
Yeah, and you know what to do. You just have to go do it. So yeah, like you said, focus on one thing, go home and implement. That's it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And we've been doing hair for so long that it's like, it's the same thing, different name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
give these
mean? Yeah.
different names.
But okay, so most of these classes are for newbies, really.
Okay. Yeah.
They're
that's how you
really-
feel.
yeah.
Yeah. Seasoned
I mean,
pros, you're like. Heard
We've
this.
seen that before,
Yeah.
and they're just calling it something else.
Oh, got
Well,
it.
you think
Oh, I
about
got it.
They've
okay.
renamed
Three
it.
Yeah, yeah.
haircuts. There's
Three-
only really 3 haircuts.
Really?
You got a
Oh,
long,
wow.
Got a long haircut, you got a medium haircut, and you got a short haircut.
Oh, that's it. Okay, so they
And
just have
then-
different names every
and
year.
then
Man's
custom,
haircut.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Jeremy.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Look right there and tell people how they can find you on social media or
Hey,
whatever.
Yeah, you can find me at jeremybravo.com or at Briggs Freeman Sotheby's. Search agents Jeremy Bravo. That's where you can find me, and always happy to help with your real estate needs.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Of course, yeah.
We're so excited to have you on.
Oh,
And
it was
we're,
great.
we're excited to go clay shooting and maybe Mexico
Yes.
City.
We will go clay shooting next 2 weeks. Let's try to get it in so that maybe you
Yes.
can add that into the footage. That'll be awesome.
Right.
Oh my gosh,
I
that
would
would be
love
so
that.
much fun.
I would love that.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be
Thank
fun.
you.
We'll make it happen.
All right. Well, thanks for watching Hair Color Confessional. I'm Angela,
I'm Christine.
and we'll see you next time. Bye.